Y'all, legit, I have made this video 3 times, and it's because it's too long and I need to cut it down. So, here we go. All right. Hey guys. Okay, so here's the thing. I wanted to, first of all, ask you, how was last weekend? Did you enjoy it? Because hopefully it was just a weekend to just relax. Anyway, I enjoyed it. It was a good break, a refresher, just chit-chatting. So, this weekend is going to be exciting because we have new stuff. I want to tell you, first of all, we will be changing our times on Saturday night to 4 o'clock instead of 4:30 in a couple of weeks. That's going to be exciting. And second of all, fall break is coming up, and Christmas and all those things. And I just want to tell you, if you're not going to be here, which I hope, everybody needs to take time. So please don't feel like you have to be here 52 weeks of the year, because you don't. You need to spend time with your family and go on vacation and do things like that. That's expected. You're good. Do that. But when you do that, if you could just let your coach or your host team leader know that you're going to be out, I would really, really appreciate it. Every single week, I send you the email, and it has your coach's information on it so that you can email them to let them know that you're not going to be here. So if you could just do that, that would be great. I really appreciate it. And on that note, knowing that everyone is on fall break, there's going to be a lot of people out. If any of you have margin to come in and serve extra services, that would just be phenomenal. You have a host team pastor and a ton of coaches that would just love you for eternity, which we already will, but this just solidifies it. We would love you if you would come and help, and we would really, really appreciate it. So this weekend, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about our friends and family. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So here's the deal. You guys know that I've been going to physical therapy for my arm. I go 3 times a week, and sometimes I was there 3 hours on last Friday. So I'm there anywhere between 2 and 3 hours every single time I go, 3 times a week. So I'm generally there between 6 and 8 hours, bare minimum 6.5 hours a week. So you get to know somebody when you spend 6.5 hours with them, right? Okay, so I have. So I know my physical therapist pretty well at this point, and he knows me. What I do know about my physical therapist is that he does not go to church, and he doesn't necessarily believe in God. That's sad to me. But this is what I do know. I do know that God has put him in my path for a reason. And I want to do what God wants me to do. And I know that God cares about my physical therapist. And so I'm praying one day he will walk through these doors. I know you have people in your life that you feel the same exact way about. You want them to walk through these doors. And I want you to think about the people who you already know that go to this church. They go to this campus, but they're not serving in any way or connected in a life group or anything like that. And I want you to think about the difference between where you're at spiritually and possibly where they are at. I pray that through serving, you grow so much closer to Christ. And I know that being on the host team for me challenges me every single week. By talking to people about their struggles, by talking to people about how God has come through for them and how wonderful he is, and just walking through life with people on the host team, it challenges me and it grows me. Don't you want that for the people in your life that go to this church and they're not connected? We're going to talk about that this weekend. Because here's the deal. If I got my physical therapist to walk through these doors and he ended up coming and being a part of this church body, I would love to know that he was serving and that he was involved in a life group and that he was growing closer to Christ. And that's the ultimate goal. And so I want you guys to be thinking about that. Who in your life needs to get involved. It's just the next step for them, whether it's in a life group or serving. We all know somebody. So let's talk about who, and let's talk about how. How can we get them involved? And it doesn't have to be on the host team. This is not a host team push. This is a Jesus push. Because the more, when you serve, that's the more of Jesus you get to understand. And that's the more of Jesus you get to be like. And when you're more like someone, you have to know them in order to be like them. And so that's what we want to do. We want people to get to know Jesus better. And the best way to do that is through either serving or getting involved in a life group. So think about who, and then we're going to talk about how. All right, guys, I will see you this weekend. Y'all be good. Don't get in trouble before Saturday and Sunday now.